Welcome back to the video blog. A very rainy day here in Fort Lauderdale on ice, otherwise known as Toronto. My name is Adam Daniel Mezei at The Real ADM on Twitter, or you can find me at pmdforhire.com. I'm a producer of marketing and distribution, or PMD. So let's talk about the breakfast meeting. You ever thought about breakfast meetings? If you're going to have a meeting with somebody, you might as well call it for a breakfast meeting. Why breakfast? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but let's name a few. First of all, breakfast meetings are usually the first things that happen in the day, so the chances of somebody actually bailing on you for a meeting, if it's important and you set it at breakfast, it's very unlikely for that to happen unless the person is probably, something of a douchebag, so they're not really going to bail on you that early in the morning. Another reason why breakfast meetings are good is because they're generally not going to be too expensive. I mean, unless the person's like super gargantuan, I just don't think you're going to have like a monster breakfast. Even if they select one of the gourmet items off the menu, like some kind of a quiche thing, or some kind of a sexy pancake, or perhaps some kind of a fancy batter, or maybe some funky fruit going on, or some milkshake, or some other type of diet-specific sensation, they're not necessarily going to be busting your wallet, which is kind of a good thing if you're trying to keep the expenses down and you run your own show and you don't want to have to spend too much money on things like that. Another reason why breakfast meetings are good, because the chances of somebody kind of getting assaulted or interfered by their SMSs, their text messages, their phones chirping off at all manner of junctures throughout the course of the meeting, or having them stare down into their screen, is quite unlikely as well, given that it'll be very early morning. The key is to ensure that the breakfast meeting is called for as early as possible, so that you don't really have the chance that somebody could actually be assaulted, for instance, by their text messages or whatever. Another thing about breakfast meetings, too, is, the chances for somebody to actually have so many things to do, at that hour of the day is kind of unlikely. So that's another reason why to call the breakfast meeting. So just to repeat, it's going to be short, it's going to be cheap, it's going to be uninterrupted, it's going to be focused, it's going to also demonstrate your generosity because you're paying for it and the other person is not going to be paying for it. So make it convenient. Who's really going to turn down a free breakfast? Very few people will, and make a point of actually setting your meetings for breakfast, because that way you'll end up having more meetings, more FaceTime, more constructive results and deliverables from the meetings themselves, and you won't have to be sitting there twirling at a time of the day when people are not alert. Also, it's the morning and people are alert, as opposed to doing it sometime later in the day when everybody's already, 3 deep into the martinis, having eaten carb bombs, pasta dishes, and other manner of other, fat-inducing, body at rest, stays at rest kind of foods. Think about the breakfast meeting. That's a tip for you. Whatever industry you're in, whatever vertical that you're in, whether you're in film, whether you're in marketing, whether you're a business development guy, whether you're a slickster McNugget sales guy, whether you're some other, fashionista, whether you're a wannabe, whether you're a student, whether you're an intern, whatever you are, do the breakfast meeting, and that is your hot tip of the day at Magic Hour here at Fort Lauderdale on ice, otherwise known as Toronto, or if you're locally, Toronto. And if you say Toronto, we know that you're not from here. My name, Adam Daniel Mezei, The Real ADM on Twitter. Please like the page at pmdforhire.com if you like it, and I'm out of here because I'm getting wet. Oh yeah!